Hello, this is Daniel Jackson of Team Outdated Robotics, and this is my SSP kit known as Ursa Minor Alpha, uh, with which I competed in the Steel City Ant-Weight Robotics event SCeetles 2, SCeetles 2, on March the 16th, 2024. And I did surprisingly well. Managed to win four battles. One of them was a bye, and lost in the top 8. So this is a more of a damage report and a thought report of how that went and what I could do to improve in the future, along with ideas for modification for the robot in the future as well. So, before anything went on, I brought this in and I asked if a switch was allowed, which the event organizer Gus said no, it would be an unfair advantage. So, thanks to the help of Tom of Team ULL and Ellis of Wranglebox, who was at the event with Sadboy and Gizmo respectively, they got together and helped make this a wire loom for a link to be able to compete in the first place. So this end plugs in the battery, this end plugs into the motherboard, this end in the battery, and this end for the link, which comes out of that hole that had to, well, Alice cut out of the top with a pair of snippers. And with that, passed tech check, well underneath the weight limit. I pretty much went in as stock could be. I know, yeah, entered well under the weight limit at about 800 grams, where most of the bots were like on the limit of 1.5 and 1.49 such, which is absolutely ridiculous. Excuse me. So after the tech check and a link borrowed from Team Mouse, I forgot your name, I do apologise. My first opponent was against Rory of Team Chisai, I think. I probably got that wrong completely. And Mini Spinny Mark III, a horizontal undercutter, and a bot that I was extremely feared of. It's a big bloody undercutting horizontal spinner, so I had to rush trying to get my anti-horizontal setup on. Unfortunately, due to my own stupidity, I didn't get a spare fork, and in turn I wasn't able to put the lifting arm for the anti-horizontal setup on. So I just decided to take an idea of putting the arm all the way up like so, and essentially using it similar to a bot that Ellis Ware of Wranglebots used against the bots in China, Sandstorm, and pretty much use it as a pushing equipment or implement, so to speak. I really shouldn't be touching that with sharp edges. Anyway, with that in mind, moved the forks, and put on the big anti-horizontal wedge. This big chunk of AR 400 or 500, I do forget. Anyway, it was the same material used in gun ranges for target practice. So, with that on, and the front arm lifted up, and only 4 screws screwed into the top. Let's see how that went.
Okay, in the blue and grey, Mini Spinny Mark III, the orange horizontal spinner there, and his opponent, Ursa Minor Alpha. We ready? Let's go.
3, 2, 1, fight!
Right. Mini Spinny gets up to speed. Ursa Minor Alpha looking for that angle. It's got a big titanium wedge on the front of it that's going to counter Mini Spinny Mark III very well. Sparks flying. Oh, Mini Spinny sends itself and its opponent flying across the arena. Mini Spinny drives into the wall, throwing itself. Ursa Minor Alpha underneath Mini Spinny Mark III. Now pushing it around. Mini Spinny wants to get free and get that bar back up to speed, just like that. And Mini Spinny Mark III up against the wall. Is that bar still functioning? It is functioning very well indeed. Ursa Minor Alpha gets the flip up against the wall, tries to stack him, but those big old wheels on Mini Spinny is probably not going to allow that to happen. Right, and he is released from the pin. 10, 9,
1 minute
8,
remaining.
7, 6, 5, 4, and release. Mini Spinny back up to speed. On top of Ursa Minor Alpha, gets stacked up against the wall, and that is an angry sounding, slam up into the ceiling. The wedge bot being the perfect counter to this undercutting spinner on Mini Spinny. Mini Spinny getting back up to speed.
30 seconds remaining.
Starts sounding very angry very soon. Pops itself in the air and over. Ursa Minor Alpha are able to get control over Mini Spinny. Oh, there goes a piece of something. Sparks flying as the glancing blows on that wedge come to pass.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Mini Spinny gyring
5,
around.
4, 3, 2, 1, cease.
And it's over. Cease. The judges have made their decision. It's unanimous in favor of Ursa Minor Alpha. Give him a hand.
That that fight was quite tough, but it was a great first bit of testing, I guess you could say. It was my first real test with Ursa Minor Alpha in general. So, damage-wise, as you can see, the front wedge lost a couple of screw heads, if it gets in focus. There we go. A screw head there, cut off from there, and a screw head missing there, and a bit of a chip there. But, other than a few bits and pieces chipped off the sides, that I can go out with a Dremel, hopefully, just to sand it all down. Not a lot of damage. There was also a big chunk taken out of, if I just move that out of the way, this is very silly of me, out of the back here. I'm holding the camera with one hand, so my camera work is very shaky. I do apologise. There we go. That came from the cut right across the back, that you'll see in the video. Took out a huge gouge at the back. If it went deeper, it would have caught the motor, Though I think at one point, either during this match or a later match, although I tightened it back up, the set screws on this wheel here came loose. Now I didn't have any Loctite blue, and for good reason, because I wanted to be able to, if that motor did blow up and someone had a spare similar motor to a dart box on there, someone could try and help me get the little boards on there unsoldered and resoldered to that motor. I'd buy it off them gladly. This came loose, and I didn't realise this until I checked it. I managed to get a chance to check the damage earlier. But yeah, that was a decent fight, and thanks to Deanna Rowley for the sticker as well on the back, which you will see, I do believe, in my third fight. So, I hope fell there. Anyway, my second fight was against a wedge bot, a fellow wedge bot, I guess you can call it, of Team Cellar Dwellers. Yeah, Team Cellar Dwellers. From a guy called Patrick, and his bot is called Adder, a two-wheeled push bot that looks very similar to a Viper kit, though he has expressly told me that it wasn't a Viper kit, but it was. But it did look similar. So, and something I didn't realise until after this fight, I forgot to secure down the lifting arm whilst trying to replace that with this. Yeah. Let's see that went anyway.
Okay, we have Adder in the blue and grey. Then in the black and red, we've got Ursa Minor Alpha. Are we ready to rumble?
Three, two, one, fight.
This fight's a bit of wedge-on-wedge violence. Although Ursa Minor Alpha might have the advantage with those forks at the front and the little lifter mechanism. And it gets a lift on Adder. Nearly flips him over. And a big shove towards the pit. The pit will be available in about 10 seconds. Ursa Minor Alpha probably wanting to look to activate the pit right now.
Is Adder having drive problems?
10, 9, 8, the pit's available, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, there we go.
Well, that, although I want to say that was fairly easy, it would have been a lot easier if I'd have secured the lifting arm. Yeah, that was extremely silly of me. I should have gone over the bot a little bit more before that fight. So, but no real damage to speak of after that fight, which is good because my third fight would have been against Sam Price. That name is recognisable because he brought two beetle weights to this event. One called Baby Shrek and Swag Demon, who I should have been up against. Unfortunately, he had to pull Swag Demon out of the competition as the motors on it weren't exactly working as well as he hoped. So he pulled out and I essentially got a bye. So I thought of myself very lucky then, until I got to the top 6. And I got into the top 16 with a judge's decision, a knockout and a bye. So I was one of the few bots that managed to get a 3-0 record. And my next fight was against another drum spinner called Hooligan, a bot from London by a guy named Martin Christopher of Love Robots, Hate Fascism. Heck yeah, brother. Anyway, yes, he had a... Hooligan was a 2-wheeled drum spinner, and gosh, I was so scared of this bot. My tactics for this fight was just try and get in his face, try and prevent him from spinning up, try and control the fight as much as possible. We'll see how that went.
This is Ursa Minor Alpha and Hooligan. Hooligan, the big drum. Ursa Minor Alpha, the lifter. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, fight!
Begin! That's what Dave really does. We have Hooligan making some hits in. It's a very stable fighter there. He'll fight to the end.
Two meet in the middle and are locked together. Hooligan gyros up on top.
Toe to toe. Not afraid to get right up close to Hooligan. I admire the bravery. Both robots, stuck in the pit zone, but still moving. You can still go. Both robots driving fine. I have to admire this longevity. It's taking hit after hit.
1 minute
Seems
remaining.
no issue. 1 minute remaining. Now the pit can be activated, but none of them have chosen that option yet. Interesting. And the pit is enabled. It's dropped. Now as a lifter, the main avenue of getting a KO is via the pit, so I wonder what he'll choose to do.
30 seconds remaining.
And is Hooligan stopped? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's waving goodbye to his enemy. His robot.
Okay, I got very lucky there. As you can see, his bot kicked mine around a lot during that fight. Most of the damage, though, came to the forks, as he has taken a fairly big chunk out of the tip of that. He's curled this one down. Come on, focus. He's curled this one down, so I'm going to have to get a Dremel on that. He's taken a chip out of that one. Ow. He's taken a chip out of that one. This one has also... This fork here has also curled down. And on top of all that, a lot of marks on the underneath. Although, I also had a Dianaroli sticker underneath, and that fell off during the fight. But, unbelievably, it still ran, even with the loose wheel on the back. still ran, even with the loose wheel on the back, quite well. So despite getting kicked around, I managed to ride over the top of him. I think doing that must have interfered with the link that he had on top. So I just took advantage, gently lifted the back, and his weapon hit the metal side and his forks sunk into the wood and he got stuck. And then I counted out with the time, the counting time. That might be seen as bad manners for some people, but it was just in good jest. It was in good jest. What I could have done was swap out the forks. Oops, excuse me, sorry. Swap out the forks for the solid forks, the ones that don't articulate. That's what I should have done for this next fight, which was against Gus Collier, the organizer of the event, and Bad Fother Mucker, a vertical spinning disc that has a reputation of, well, destroying things, really. Now, it was basically the same idea, but you could probably see the loose wheel at the back kind of hindering. I couldn't get the box rush I wanted, and anyway, I'll let you guys see how the fight went down.
His robot is a beautiful flesh colour. It's
It's my cursed bot, because it's cursed. And now it is dead.
Right, we're doing the Twitch testing, and a handshake has been given. Can I get a thumbs up? We get a thumbs up. We're ready to start the fight. Stand by. And sending in 3, 2, 1. Fight! Revving up. Bad Fuddermucker wants to get a good. Yeah, he's up to speed. This could be explosive, but Ursa Minor Alpha is. That's a mouthful of a name, isn't it, right? But it's very good at taking hits. I've not seen it take proper damage at all this battle, this event tournament. And there is a tap out, unfortunately. The link is out. Bad Fuddermucker is the winner. But please give it up for our winner and our loser, for it has been an amazing battle and fight up until this point in the competition.
Well, that could have gone better, but honestly, I'm kind of glad that it didn't take more damage. The only real pieces of damage from that fight was the lid, the G10 lid wheel well that I covered in tape just for safety reasons. Basically got its side snapped off, so I don't think I'll be using this lid anytime soon again. And if I do, it's more for safety reasons. Well, say safety reasons, more of a replacement or anything. I think during the hooligan fight as well, he kind of shredded the very side of the wing there. And when he rode backwards over me, he sniped the link that Ellis had crafted for me. And yeah, that was all she wrote. As soon as that link was sniped, even though the lights were on, there was no one at home. Couldn't move after that, and I had to tap out. So that ended my run at SCeetles 2. Ended in a top 8, which is absolutely insane. And it earned me the Best Newcomer Award for getting into the top 8 as the first timer. I got the GG Noob Trophy, which is the Newcomer Award for doing so. So, And all I could say was, huh? How? That's literally all I could say. So, this is what I got from it, and I couldn't be any prouder. As for having to take a week from making this video, the adrenaline got to me. Having the autism, I crashed almost immediately afterwards. So, what's the future for Ursa Minor Alpha? Well, I said that I wanted to build like a shell spinner, but first I want to try and, I say, run this thing into the ground. If anything, yeah, I want to run this thing into the ground. Plans are to try and get a different top on this. Maybe make it out of some HDPE, like some thin HDPE. It'll give me more impact resistance from the top, and instead of just shearing off like that, only chunks of it will come off. So hopefully I'll find someone that could do that for me, make a new shell for me, find some 16 American weight gauge wire, and create a link loom myself, though it would be very, very difficult for me because I really don't trust my soldering, especially with my tremors. Yeah. Take a Dremel, smooth out the bits and pieces that came off the wedge, try and get these sharpened back up, and yeah, that's really about it. I also said that the bot itself would run on its own. I'll have to do that on a different video. Yeah, I'll have to do that on a different video, a different time. Definitely not up here. So, before I go, major thanks to Ellis of Wranglebox, Tom of Team ULL, and all the other people that helped out there at the helped me out there at the event. And an extra special thanks to Dion Neroli, who managed to get the footage of the event from the live stream and send it to me to edit. So he was there at the event with O'Neill. Well, I love that little bot. But yeah, this is Daniel Jackson signing off. Thank you for watching.